Have you ever wondered if the past truly has the power to control your future, or if it only has the power you continue to give it? So many people wake up each morning carrying yesterday like a heavy suitcase. They replay old conversations, old mistakes, old disappointments, and old failures until those memories begin to feel more real than the possibilities waiting ahead. They believe they are simply remembering, but in truth, they are quietly recreating. The heart does not always distinguish between what happened long ago and what is being vividly imagined today. Whatever you repeatedly return to with emotion becomes alive within you once again, and whatever remains alive within you quietly influences the life you continue to experience. This is why one of the greatest gifts you can ever give yourself is not forgetting the past. It is revising it. It has long been understood that life reflects the beliefs you carry within. The inner story eventually becomes the outer experience. If you continue yourself that your past defines you, life faithfully builds upon that foundation. But the moment you choose a different inner story, you begin laying the foundation for a different future. Think about an author writing a novel. If one chapter contains sadness, the author does not throw away the entire book. The next chapter changes everything. The earlier pages remain part of the journey, but they no longer decide how the story ends. Your life is much the same. You cannot erase time, but you can transform the meaning you give it. And when the meaning changes, the person carrying the memory changes too. Perhaps there was a time when someone spoke words that made you feel small. Perhaps you experienced rejection that convinced you you were not enough. Maybe a financial setback quietly became your identity instead of simply becoming an experience. Without realizing it, you may have carried those moments into every opportunity that followed, not because they were stronger than you, because they became familiar. Familiar stories often become invisible prisons, yet every prison built by thought can be opened by thought. Imagine standing in a room whose windows have been covered for years. You believe the room has no light. One day, someone simply opens the curtains. The sunlight was never missing. It had only been hidden. Your confidence has never disappeared. Your abundance has never abandoned you. Your worth has never been lost. It has only waited behind old assumptions, patiently waiting for you to open the curtains. There was once a young man who dreamed of creating a successful business. Years earlier, he had failed at a small project. That single experience quietly became his identity. Whenever a new opportunity appeared, an invisible voice whispered, "Remember what happened last time." So he hesitated. He delayed. He questioned himself, not because the opportunity was wrong, but because yesterday kept introducing itself into today. One evening he made a simple decision. Instead of replaying the memory of failure, he began imagining that first attempt differently. He pictured himself smiling after completing it. He imagined hearing words of encouragement. He imagined feeling proud instead of ashamed. At first it seemed like a simple exercise. Yet something remarkable happened. His emotional connection to failure slowly disappeared. Confidence quietly took its place. Soon he approached new opportunities without carrying the weight of old memories. His success did not begin when money arrived. It began when the past stopped defining his identity. That is the quiet miracle of revision. You are not changing history. You are changing the person who remembers it. Close your eyes now. Take a slow, peaceful breath, then another. Allow every breath to soften your body. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel your heartbeat slowing into perfect calm. Imagine yourself walking through a beautiful garden just after sunrise. Soft golden light dances across dew-covered flowers. The air carries the gentle fragrance of roses, jasmine, and fresh earth. Birds sing peacefully in the distance. A gentle breeze brushes against your face like a loving reminder that every new morning brings new beginnings. Ahead of you stands an elegant pathway made of smooth white stone. Each step feels lighter than the last. You are leaving behind old burdens without effort. The path leads toward a magnificent building surrounded by flowing fountains and blooming gardens. It feels timeless, peaceful, sacred. You enter through large wooden doors. Inside, warm sunlight pours through tall windows. Everything feels calm. Every room carries quiet wisdom. There is no fear here, only understanding. You continue walking until you discover a beautiful library filled with countless books. One book catches your attention immediately. Your name is written across its cover in golden letters. You gently lift it from the shelf. As you open it, you realize it contains every important memory of your life, every joyful moment, every disappointment, every dream, every fear. As you turn the pages, you come across a memory that has quietly shaped your life for years. Perhaps it was rejection, perhaps it was loss, perhaps it was the moment you stopped believing in yourself. You look at the page with complete compassion. There is no anger, no shame, only understanding. Then something extraordinary happens. A beautiful golden pen appears beside the book. Without hesitation, you pick it up. You begin rewriting the memory. You replace fear with courage. You replace rejection with acceptance. You replace failure with wisdom. You replace limitation with possibility. As each word changes, the page begins glowing softly. The old story gently fades away, not because it is being denied, because it is no longer needed. Suddenly the room fills with warm golden light. Every page behind you begins transforming. Old pain becomes quiet strength. Old disappointment becomes preparation. Old uncertainty becomes confidence. The entire story of your life begins reflecting a deeper truth. Nothing was ever against you. Everything was quietly preparing you. As you continue walking through the library, another door opens. Beyond it stands the future version of yourself. This version radiates peace. Their smile carries complete certainty. Their eyes shine with quiet joy. They are financially free, successful beyond what you once imagined. Their home is elegant yet peaceful. Large windows overlook breathtaking mountains and sparkling lakes. Beautiful artwork decorates every room. Fresh flowers fill the air with gentle fragrance. Luxury exists everywhere, yet nothing feels excessive. Everything feels natural. They greet you with warmth, as though they have been expecting you all along. They take your hand and gently say, "The moment you forgave your past, you made room for your future." You walk together through this extraordinary life. You notice peaceful mornings filled with gratitude, meaningful work that inspires you, financial freedom that allows you to travel, give generously, and care for the people you love. You see yourself making wise investments with confidence. You notice opportunities arriving naturally. People respect your presence. Your words carry calm authority. Success is no longer feels distant, it feels familiar. You step onto a beautiful balcony overlooking endless valleys glowing beneath the morning sun. The wealthy version of yourself places a hand over your heart. Instantly you feel warmth spreading through your entire body. Old memories dissolve like morning mist beneath sunlight. Fear quietly disappears. Self-doubt gently leaves. In their place comes peace, confidence, freedom, worthiness. Then something beautiful happens. You and this future version of yourself begin becoming one. There is no separation, only remembrance. You no longer admire this person. You become this person. Feel their confidence becoming yours. Feel their gratitude becoming yours. Feel their abundance becoming your natural expectation. Loam your heart to memorize this feeling, because this feeling is becoming your new identity. Slowly return your awareness to this moment. Carry that feeling with you. Do not leave it inside the imagination. Bring it into your next decision. Bring it into every conversation. Bring it into every dream you dare to believe. From today forward, whenever an old memory appears, greet it with kindness. Then lovingly choose the revised version instead, not because you are escaping reality, because you are choosing the reality that serves your highest life. Every revised memory weakens the chains of limitation. Every loving interpretation strengthens your future. Every peaceful assumption plants another seed of abundance. Your past no longer has to be the place you repeatedly visit. It can become the place that quietly reminds you how far you have already come. And once you begin living from that understanding, you may discover that the future no longer feels uncertain. Instead, it begins to feel like a familiar home that has been patiently waiting for your arrival, ready to reveal possibilities that were always there, hidden only behind the stories you are now courageous enough to rewrite. And perhaps this is the most beautiful discovery of all. The future does not ask whether your past was perfect. It asks only who you have decided to become today. That question changes everything, because when your identity begins living in the present instead of hiding in yesterday, every new day becomes an open field, rather than another repetition of old memories. Imagine walking through a valley after a long winter. For months, the landscape appeared lifeless. The trees stood bare. The ground felt cold. Nothing seemed to be growing. Yet beneath the surface, life never stopped preparing. The roots remained alive. The seeds remained patient. Spring was quietly working long before anyone could see it. Your own life follows the same gentle rhythm. There may have been seasons when you believed nothing was changing. There may have been years that seemed filled with disappointment or uncertainty. But those moments never erased the deeper truth within you. The possibility of abundance never disappeared. Your ability to love never disappeared. Your creative power never disappeared. It simply waited for the moment you stopped identifying with the season and began identifying with the life quietly growing beneath it. This is why your attention is so precious. Whatever receives your attention receives your energy. Whatever receives your energy begins shaping your tomorrow. If you constantly water old disappointments, they continue growing inside your imagination. If you begin watering gratitude, possibility, confidence, and peace, your inner garden gradually becomes unrecognizable from what it once was. Every morning presents the same gentle invitation. What will you nourish today? Not because one choice changes everything instant, because many loving choices eventually become your nature. Think about someone learning to play a beautiful instrument. At first, every note requires attention. Every movement feels unfamiliar. Yet with patient repetition, what once required effort becomes effortless. Revision works in much the same way. At first, choosing a better story may feel unusual. The old memories may seem louder. The old emotions may try to return. That is natural. You are not failing. You are simply teaching your mind a new melody. Stay with it. Soon peace becomes familiar. Confidence becomes familiar. Hope becomes familiar. Then one day you realize something remarkable. You are no longer practicing a new way of thinking. You have become it. There is another quiet truth that many people overlook. Revision does not only change your relationship with the past, it changes your expectations of the future. When your memories become kinder, your expectations naturally become brighter. You stop assuming that disappointment is waiting around every corner. Instead, you begin expecting meaningful opportunities, unexpected kindness, perfect timing, inspired ideas. Life begins feeling welcoming instead of threatening. That shift alone changes countless decisions you make without even noticing. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with heavy stones. After years of carrying it, the weight begins feeling normal. Then one day someone gently removes it from your shoulders. For a moment, you almost lose your balance because you had forgotten what lightness feels like. Old emotional burdens are much the same. You become so accustomed to carrying regret, guilt, or fear that peace initially feels unfamiliar. But peace is not something you borrow, it is something you uncover. It has always been waiting beneath unnecessary weight. Allow yourself to become familiar with lightness again. Smile without needing a reason. Rest without feeling guilty. Do cite compliments without resisting them. Accept blessings without wondering whether you deserve them. You do, not because you have earned the right to exist peacefully, because your worth has never depended upon performance. Your value has never been measured by your mistakes. It has always been present beneath every experience. There is also extraordinary wisdom in refusing to introduce yourself through yesterday. Notice how often people define themselves by old events. I have always struggled. I was never lucky. I always fail. These sentences quietly become identities, yet identities can be rewritten. Imagine introducing yourself inwardly in a completely different way. I am becoming someone who trusts life. I welcome abundance naturally. I learn quickly. I create meaningful opportunities. I carry peace wherever I go. These are not empty affirmations. They are invitations for a new identity to awaken. Speak them gently, not as someone trying to convince themselves, as someone remembering something they almost forgot. Life listens carefully to the names you quietly give yourself. Choose names worthy of your future. There will also be moments when someone reminds you of your past. Perhaps they remember the version of you who doubted yourself. Perhaps they still expect you to remain the person you once were. Let them remember, you are not responsible for carrying someone else's memory of your life. You are responsible for remaining faithful to the truth awakening within your own heart. A butterfly never returns to the cocoon to prove it has changed. It simply flies. Your transformation does not require constant explanation. It only requires quiet consistency. Sometimes the greatest evidence of growth is silence. You no longer argue with old opinions. You no longer defend your dreams against doubt. You simply continue becoming. There is remarkable strength in peaceful persistence, like a river shaping stone, not through force, but through faithful movement, like sunrise gently dissolving darkness without struggle, like spring awakening the earth without asking winter for permission. Real transformation carries that same quiet confidence. It does not rush, it does not compete, it simply unfolds. As you continue revising your relationship with yesterday, another beautiful gift begins appearing: compassion, not only for yourself, for everyone. You begin realizing that every person carries invisible stories. Every smile may hide old pain. Every harsh word may come from someone who has forgotten their own worth. This understanding softens the heart. Forgiveness becomes easier. Judgment becomes lighter. Love begins flowing more naturally. And strangely enough, the more compassion you offer, the freer your own heart becomes. Because resentment always binds the one holding it. Love quietly releases them both. Now imagine looking back at your younger self, the version who once believed they would never heal, the version who feared they were not enough, the version who carried silent worries that no one else ever saw. Instead of feeling sadness, imagine smiling gently. You know something they did not know yet. You know they survived. You know they grew stronger. You know that one day they would awaken to a truth greater than every painful memory they once believed. Perhaps that younger version has been waiting all along to hear just one sentence from you. You were never broken, you were becoming. Hold those words close. Let them settle quietly within your heart, because the person you are today is no longer living beneath the weight of old chapters. You are becoming the author of every chapter that follows. And as this new awareness grows stronger with each passing day, you may begin to notice that the life unfolding before you is no longer shaped by the memories you carried, but by the vision you now choose to embrace, a vision so peaceful, so abundant, and so deeply aligned with who you truly are that it quietly prepares your heart for the greatest realization of all. And now, before you step back into the rhythm of your day, allow yourself one final moment of stillness. Breathe slowly. Feel the quiet space within you. There is nothing you need to force, nothing you need to chase, nothing you need to prove. Simply become aware of the gentle presence that has always lived within your heart. It has been there through every triumph. It has been there through every disappointment. It has remained untouched by every mistake you believed defined you. It has patiently waited for this moment, the moment you finally remember that you were never created to carry yesterday forever. The past has done all it could do. It has taught you. It has strengthened you. It has awakened compassion within you. Now let it rest, not with resentment, not with regret, but with gratitude. Even the chapters that once brought tears have quietly shaped the wisdom you now carry. Even the roads that seemed to lead nowhere have gently guided you toward this awakening. Nothing has been wasted. Every experience has been inviting you home to yourself. So stop introducing yourself through old wounds. Stop measuring your future by memories that no longer belong to the person you are becoming. Stop asking yesterday for permission to enjoy today. Your life has never been waiting for a perfect past. It has always been waiting for your present agreement. The moment you accept that truth, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your heart becomes lighter. Your mind becomes clearer. Your dreams stop feeling distant. They begin feeling familiar, almost as though they have been quietly waiting for you to recognize them. From this day forward, let your inner conversations become sacred. Every word you speak within yourself is planting tomorrow. Every belief you protect becomes a foundation beneath your future. Every loving assumption becomes another invitation for life to reveal its generosity. Choose your thoughts with tenderness, not because you fear thinking wrongly, but because you now understand how precious your awareness truly is. Speak to yourself with the kindness you have always deserved. Encourage yourself when no one else is watching. Celebrate the smallest signs of growth. Trust the invisible changes happening beneath the surface. Great trees do not apologize because their roots cannot yet be seen. Your unseen transformation is no less real. Perhaps tonight, before you close your eyes, revisit your day with love. If something troubled you, gently rewrite it within your imagination. See yourself responding with confidence. See yourself receiving understanding. See yourself succeeding. See yourself loved. Allow your final feeling before sleep to become the feeling you wish to awaken inside tomorrow. Night after night, your heart will begin accepting this new story as natural. Day after day, your outer world will quietly begin reflecting it. This is not escaping reality. This is participating in its creation. You are far more powerful than you were taught to believe, not because you control every circumstance, but because you always possess the freedom to choose the meaning, the feeling, and the identity you carry into every circumstance. That freedom is sacred. Protect it, honor it, use it wisely. There will be moments when old memories softly knock upon the door of your mind. Welcome them without fear. Smile gently. Thank them for bringing you this far. Then lovingly close the door. Your future no longer lives there. Your future lives in the assumptions you choose today. It lives in the gratitude you feel before the blessing arrives. It lives in the confidence you embrace before the evidence appears. It lives in the peace you protect when the world invites you back into fear. Real abundance begins long before money appears. It begins when your heart no longer believes in scarcity. Real success begins long before recognition arrives. It begins when you recognize your own worth. Real freedom begins long before circumstances change. It begins when you stop allowing old memories to imprison new possibilities. Carry yourself through life with quiet dignity. Walk gently. Speak kindly. Dream boldly. Sing gratefully. Give generously. Let your success become an expression of love rather than comparison. Let your prosperity become an opportunity to bless others. Let your peace become a refuge for those who have forgotten that peace is possible. One day, perhaps when you least expect it, you will pause during an ordinary morning. Sunlight will enter through your window. You will smile without needing a reason. You will notice a calm that once felt impossible. You will realize that opportunities now appear where obstacles once stood. You will hear yourself speaking with confidence that once seemed beyond your reach. And in that quiet moment, you will understand that the greatest miracle was never the money you received, the success you achieved, or the doors that opened. The greatest miracle was the person you allowed yourself to become. You revised your relationship with yesterday. You forgave what no longer deserved your suffering. You chose love over fear, faith over doubt, possibility over limitation. And because you changed within, life faithfully responded without. So leave this moment with nothing heavy in your hands. Leave carrying only gratitude. Leave carrying only expectation. Leave carrying the peaceful certainty that your story is no longer written by what happened to you, but by what you now choose to believe about yourself. You are not the memory, you are the author. You are not the wound, you are the healing. You are not the limitation, you are the limitless awareness that has been quietly creating all along. Stand in that truth, live from that truth, gut crate through that truth, and let every thought become an act of love. Let every word become a blessing. Let every belief become a bridge leading you toward the life that has always been waiting within you. For the moment you lovingly revise your past, you quietly give birth to a different future. Rest in that knowing, walk in that knowing, become that knowing, and let this gentle truth remain in your heart for the rest of your life. The story I choose to believe today becomes the life I joyfully live tomorrow.